Well, hello there guys. As you can tell from the title, today we're going to be talking about fitness in the 1990s. We're going to be talking about not only workouts, but also the diet fads too. So this is going to be a really fun video. If you guys recall, I took part in a collaboration hosted by Brittany of Bits of Paradis here on YouTube. She does these decade collabs where she does 1950s to the 1990s. The first one she did, I took part in. I also had the 1990s for that one, and I did a day in the life of a stay-at-home mom. But this time, she is doing fitness through the decades. So that means you can learn about not only the 1990s, but also the 50s through the 80s. So SweetEmelyne will be doing the 1950s, Brittany from Bits of Paradise will be doing the 1960s, Jeannie from ALittleAboutALot will be doing the 1970s, and Marie from BitsandClips will be doing the 1980s. I actually have not gotten to collab yet with any of these ladies except for Brittany, of course, because she's one of my best friends. So make sure you guys go check them out in the description box. All of them will be there for you guys. This is gonna be a lot of fun, so let's start with the workout gear. As you can tell, I am wearing a windbreaker because it's not the 1990s or the 1980s without one of those. So we're gonna go a little bit into my outfit, why I chose what I chose. So first up, I'm not really gonna go into the hair and the makeup. I actually just did my basic makeup and the 90s kind of like side ponytail with a scrunchie here. If you wanna learn more about the 1990s and makeup trends in particular and hair, then make sure you check out my day in the life of a stay-at-home mom. I talk about that there. The actual outfit though, the first thing being the windbreaker like I talked about. So in the 1980s, windbreakers were a big hit too. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember them if you were old enough to be coherent in the 1980s, but they were super bright colored. In the 1990s, there were a lot of windbreakers as well, but that's when colors started to kind of tone it down a little bit. We had the crazy eccentric 80s colors, but then in the 1990s, a lot of the fashion trends were similar, with the colors a little bit more toned down. Next, I have this white crop top. To kind of get my inspiration for my outfit, I went straight to kind of what the 1990s workout videos looked like, so we'll talk a little bit about that in a bit, but a lot of them just wore sports bras, like plain sports bras or crop tops like this. Now, I wasn't comfortable being in just a plain sports bra, so I did go with the crop top option. And then a lot of them had, as you can tell from my pants, the side striped pant, the Adidas stripe basically. So I went with these, which I just got off Amazon. If you want any of this stuff I have, we'll have it linked down below for you guys. I got these off Amazon. They were pretty inexpensive. And then shoes, of course, really just basic. They had white shoes or black shoes. I was going to get these exact shoes, but in plain white, but they were out, so I went with this pair instead.
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever.
Okay, so next let's get into the actual workouts. I am going to be showing you guys me physically working out with this. So I will be talking about all of the things, but you're gonna see a lot of B-roll of Arianna attempting to work out with these items. So first up, a lot of you 1990s kids, or if you're an adult, are gonna know this one. The ab roller. This baby came out in 1994, so it was quite the hype in the 1990s. I remember my parents had one. My mom had a little bit of a different one. It was like had a plastic coating on the outside, and the wheel was like inside the plastic, and it'd move. I don't even know how to explain it, but this thing was huge in the 1990s. I know that a lot of parents specifically use the ab roller. So next we're gonna talk about the Pilates Ring. So some of you guys would be like, really? Yes, Pilates is really in at the moment, and Pilates actually started taking off in the 1990s. A lot of you guys will recall something similar to this that also took off in the 1990s, the Thighmaster. This is very similar to that. Because I was purchasing for this, I wanted to buy something that was in the 1990s, but something I would also use, and I'm starting to do Pilates, so I did pick up one of the Pilates rings. But the Thighmaster, I'm sure I will have a picture here. A lot of you guys may remember or recall what that is, but it works very similar to a Pilates ring. Pilates was huge in the 1990s, which I had no idea until I researched. But yes, this puppy was where it was at too. A lot of people use this thing, but it does work very similar to a Thighmaster, but with Pilates, you can use it for a few other things as well. Okay, so next up, we're gonna talk about the most popular workout routine that I can recall from the 1990s, was Tae Bo. Who remembers Tae Bo? I remember actually doing it all the time when I was younger. My parents had all of the VHSs, yes, VHSs, and you know, you gotta remember I think it was like double time, and you'd go like this. You have to go really fast. That was like my favorite part. So Tae Bo was created by Billy Blanks, who's actually a Taekwondo practitioner. And it was created, of course, in the 1990s. All the VHSs that we had when I was a kid, I think Tae Bo was like the most number we had. I think we had like 8 or 9 of them or something. So I definitely could not make this video without talking about that. And then my last workout is rollerblading. 1990s, rollerblading was life. This is all that we did, especially as kids. I really wanted to talk about this, not necessarily because, you know, there were people legitimately going out to rollerblade to work out, but this was really the one thing that I feel kept kids the most active in the 1990s, so I definitely wanted to talk about that as well. Okay, so now let's get into the diet fads of the 1990s. First up, grapefruit. Yes, the grapefruit diet, which literally means all they ate was grapefruit. Apparently, when I was reading about it, it was something that was big earlier on in the decades, to like the 1950s or something like that. But in the 1990s, it came back again, and a lot of people are doing this. Obviously, it was not safe. It was not recommended, but a lot of people are doing that, where they literally just ate grapefruit for every meal. So I thought that was really interesting, so I wanted to mention it. Going along with this, and not necessarily the healthiest options, a lot of people did diet pills in the 1990s, like Metabolife. There were a few others, several from the 1990s that are now banned, actually. But that was a huge thing. A lot of people were doing diet pills. Now in 2018, there are a lot of options on the shelves still for diet pills, but there are more so vitamins and things that you can take to suppress your appetite, healthier options than some of the diet pills that, as I mentioned, are now banned. So two of the things that kind of came about in the 1990s was low carb and no fat. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are very well aware now of like, oh, low carb diets, things like that. That in the 1990s, that is when that all started. So all like the fat-free things that we see today, that kind of all started in the 1990s too. And I'm not going to say whether or not that's the best option, because I am not a doctor. Let's make that clear. None of this is telling you guys what to do, because you ask your doctor. But we are going to talk about the Atkins diet. So they didn't have these type of things back in the 1990s, but I thought that it would be interesting to kind of try out the 2018 version of what was big in the 1990s. Atkins was huge, and Slim Fast. So I'm gonna have Ryan put this in some ice, because yeah, I think it would be very gross. So these actually used to come in cans, if you guys remember, but they don't sell them in cans anymore. They're now in plastic, which is plastic cheaper in cans? I don't know. I just got the original Slim Fast. It's the creamy milk chocolate. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the ice and let it get a little bit cold while we taste test the Atkins bar. Okay, so here's the Atkins bar. The kind that I got is caramel chocolate nut roll bar. So the Atkins diet, I believe, was geared a lot around a low carb diet, which I find interesting because on the package here it says 7 grams of protein, 3 grams of net carbs, 2 grams of sugar, and 6 grams of fiber. But on the back, there's actually a total of 19 carbs. But let's go ahead and rip this puppy open. So Ryan said that these were about $5 for the box, so there's 5 of them, so it's about $1 a bar. It's like equivalent of a Cliff Bar. Let's taste it. It's actually really good. It tastes like a candy bar. No, it legit tastes like a Snicker, Ryan. Too bad I don't know better, and I'm not. Actually, honestly, I can pronounce all of these. There's not really anything in here that's like, oh, there's a couple things that are like really weird names. I'll have to look it up, because I assume that it's really not got the best ingredients in it. Probably better ingredients than a Snicker bar. Do the research yourself, but if you have an issue with eating too many Snicker bars, pick up these to keep on hand just in case. Next up, we're gonna try this Slim Fast. It doesn't smell like anything. It also doesn't taste like anything. Like, I can barely taste it. My ice isn't really that melted, so I don't know. Okay, I'm starting to taste it. The more I drink, the more I taste it. It's basically like a very faint chocolate milk. It's not bad by any means, it's just not very flavorful. I assume though that maybe with the ice out of it, and put it in the fridge, that it might be have a little more flavor to it. So that is it. That is a little roundabout synopsis of fitness in the 1990s. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little fun, out of the ordinary for me. I really enjoyed being a part of this collaboration. Thank you to Brittany for continuing to host these collabs. I always have fun watching them or being a part of them. If you haven't already, make sure you go check out Brittany, because she's actually done 3 different collabs. She did a Christmas one too, and these are just so fun to watch and to take part in. I love them. So make sure you go check out all the other ladies like I mentioned, so you can see fitness from the 50s all the way through the 90s with me, and I will see all of your wonderful faces sometime later this week. Sometime. I'll probably have like the day on the screen here. This is when you'll see me. If you are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Arianna. I am super excited to have you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you think you will be interested in my content. I make a lot of things revolving around mental health and motherhood, homeschooling, minimalism, all kinds of things. So if you enjoy any of that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and I will see all of your wonderful faces on that day that's on the screen. Bye.